everybody, welcome to this Brit Marine update, narrative campaign update, beginning, and also history. So, I've added green stuff to some of the models before, and got a new unit done. So first of all, we have the standard bearer, whose flag's actually fallen off, and I can't repair it because I have no glue, so I need to go buy some more. And yep, he has a bear skin, because he's a coldstream guardsman, and I think that looks alright. So yep, and then we've got a paratrooper, who has a red beret. And then we have the first Brit Marine, he also has a bear skin. And then we have the West Yorkshire Sergeant, who has a bicorn hat. The Royal Welsh, who also has a bicorn hat, but it's way too big for him. That was not intentional. And then we've got the Captain, who has also got a bicorn hat. So yeah, that's the green stuff, and as I say, modelling is not really my strong point. Baby crying in the background, I do apologise. So yep, that's my first attempt at green stuff, so don't hate. And I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to sneeze. Anyway, so we have the snipers, and these are actually 95th, so basically their uniforms are black except from the camo cloaks on their back. And then, yep, I've added green stuff. I've done a sling and also a hood for them. So this is the first one. There's his back. And then we've got one who's crouching. And then we have another one standing on a rock. We have the sergeant, who has a beret. And his camo is probably, I kept that camo because it looks really nice. So I could never do camo like that in my dreams. So yep, there we go. And then there's the last one. So that's the Brit Marines, and I hope you liked them. I think the green skin really does add a bit more character to them. Makes them look a bit more British, as it were. So anyway, history. Apologise for the shaky cam because I'm actually reading from a laptop, so I'm just holding it in my hand and... Yep. Oh! The intro. Hope you liked it. That was actually made by Stuart Manby. Shout out to him. He made it for me. He just basically said one day, "Hey, do you want an intro?" And I said, "Yeah, alright, mate." And then yeah, he made it for me, and many thanks for that. Hope you enjoy it. It's probably there. If not, there's some kind of technical error, and I hate myself now. I'm only joking. Anyway, history. Shortly after Slanesh attacked Earth, the British, fearing the end of their nation, sent a fleet containing the best British regiments, politicians, scientists, and of course the monarchy. The ship contained a cargo of stolen space marine technology, enough food to last a millennium, and the remains of great British heroes. The British Expeditionary Fleet continued its journey across the galaxy, looking for a new homeland to colonise. Many years later, they found their new home. The new planet was light years away from Earth, now under the Emperor's rule and under the name Terra. They named it Britannia in the honour of Old Britain. The ancestors of the pioneers began exploring the planet and building cities. Not much is recorded of the rebuilding period due to the British focusing on rebuilding society. After British society was re-established, the age-old instinct of conquering kicked in, and a new BEF, British Expeditionary Fleet, was built to colonise the star system, the solar system, and the British Planetary Empire was born. Whilst the Horus Heresy ravaged the Imperium of Man, the British Planetary Empire continued to grow as the scientists, or boffins as they were called by the common folk, developed newer technology to expand the empire. As the Horus Heresy drew to a close, the boffins had already developed the Space Marine armour they captured, so it was up to date with the Imperium. Another technological leap was made by the boffins shortly after the death of King George XXXII. They had developed a cloning device. They had experimented on dead peasants at first, but once it was perfected... I've gone too far... where was I? Once it was perfected, they used it on the remains of British heroes. First to be cloned was Sir Arthur Wellesley, the first Duke of Wellington. However, to keep the clone alive, a special suit of armour had to be made for him. The result of the armour was a highly agile but heavily armoured version of the Space Marine's armour. He stood 10 foot tall and almost invincible. Most of British society treated the clone as a god incarnate. If the Brit Marines were an Imperial Legion, Wellesley would be the Primarch. Wellesley, or the Iron Duke as he came to be known, expanded the British Planetary Empire even further. King George III now reigned over 4 solar systems and protected by an army of 10,000 soldiers, officers, mechs and tanks alike. This colossal army was split into regiments, and the country from which their ancestors came from, i.e. England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. The first time the Brit Marines encountered the Imperiums as leaving terror was when the British Navy, led by a clone of Lord Admiral Horatio Nelson, and by Navy I mean spaceships, attacked a Space Marine battle barge. The result shook the Imperium as nearly an entire chapter was wiped out. This, of course, is not recorded in the Imperium archive. They didn't know who did it until the nearest Imperium outpost, manned by the Imperial Guard, received a message. The message read as follows: "You have feared and despised us for as long as you can remember. You took our homeland and destroyed our pride. We are the conqueror of worlds, defenders of hope and glory, loyal to our gracious king. We are the Brit Marines, and you are our next victim." The message outraged the Imperium, and every soldier in that outpost was put on full alert. They awaited the invasion that they knew was imminent. It was a month before the Brits launched their attack. The invasion fleet they sent was extraordinary. 1,000 Brit Marines, 40 tanks, 300 bikers and a preemptive strike of 100 guns. The force was led by Sir Wellesley himself, and there were no Imperial survivors to tell the tale. The British Planetary Empire dealt a huge blow to the greatest military force in the galaxy. A new surge of national pride struck Britannia and its colonies. The British spirit reigned supreme. Wellesley then planned an invasion on an Imperial Forge world. It was the single greatest battle in British history, but it came at a cost. During the battle, a host of demons arrived. Although they were swiftly killed, Wellesley was sucked into the warp and was lost forever. Although the battle was a great victory, the Empire was in mass mourning. Some reported that even the king was caught shedding a tear. Wellesley could not be cloned again due to the last of the formula being used and the resources spent. After the battle, the British Planetary Empire declared an uneasy peace with the Imperium. The British Army now possessed the same technology as the Imperium and was a force to be reckoned with. Although the peace still lasts, the British Planetary Empire faces a new threat, Xenos. Now the British must defend their borders from an enemy that knows no peace, and this war is just beginning. So, I hope you liked that history, and now we go on to the narrative campaign, which I am starting next week with a 500-point skirmish, and then it'll go into a 1,000-point battle, and then 1,500 points, and the final battle will be like a 4-way or 3-way battle, depending on how it goes. So, I'll also read this out. It's called The Colonisation of Grox Rock. So, history, the Brit Marines. The Brit Marines are looking to expand their ever-growing empire in the name of His Most Gracious Majesty King George III, and the nearby planet is the prime target. As of yet, no intelligent life has been found on the planet, and a small expeditionary force has been sent to the planet under the command of Colonel Sir Buckingham Throgmorton. That's this gentleman here. And Throgmorton is an officer fresh off the parade ground and has been ordered to take this planet as his first task. Under his command are several companies from various regiments, a squad of commandos and a few other support units. This is actually the 95th now. I actually changed it. They were originally going to be commandos, but now they're the 95th Rifles. His first objective is to land on the planet and secure a position and to report back to Britannia for further orders and potentially reinforcements. There's going to be new characters introduced, like this man here. He's going to be a Supreme Officer who's been sent to oversee over this man here when the reinforcements arrive, because as you're going to find out in the campaign, things are going to get messy. The intelligence was wrong, and there's actually getting quite a few enemies there. So, the Orcs, as you guessed by the title, this is actually owned by the Orcs. This apparently abandoned planet is actually owned by a warband led by Warboss Grok. He, very originally, called the planet Grox Rock. When the Orcs first came to the planet, it was owned by the Imperium, and they had already built cities and established an Imperial Guard garrison. The Orcs, with an internal love for war, overwhelmed the Guard and captured the planet. Since then, the Warband has had many wars between themselves, and when they see a fleet coming for the planet, the Orcs hastily man their guns and shoot down the stray spacecraft and watch it go down in a ball of fire. Grok orders a small reconnaissance party under the cover of darkness to inspect the crash site and kill all survivors. Right, and then there's also Eldar, who are hiding out, and they don't really like. They mistake the Brit Marines for Space Marines, and they don't really like them a lot. So they, once the Orcs are sent in their ambush, they attack. So the Eldar had landed on the planet shortly before the British Expeditionary Force fleet was shot down by Orc guns. The army was led by Morgan Ra, who had recently turned for battle with the Imperium. The force had gone into hiding when the fleet was spotted as they saw what appeared to be Space Marine ships, and wanted to rid the world of their old enemy. Waiting in ambush, he had began to descend into madness, and only the soothing words of his Farseer could help, but not for long. Morgan Ra had a score to settle, and with a growing madness upon him, no one was safe, not even his comrades. So as the battle goes on, you're going to see Morgan Raz descend into madness, and in the final battle, you'll see what happens with the Farseer. Not going to give any spoilers, and after every battle, I'll give a I'll try film them, not making any promises, but yeah, I'll give a overview of the battle, and then a continuation of the story. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. It's rather long now actually, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye guys.